Hello, second graders. My name is Shelby, and I'm so excited to be here recording this video for you today. I think our topic is great, and I think that you're all really going to like the book that we have for you. So before we get into our talk today, I want to thank you all so much for being at school. I know that you guys have probably heard this a lot of different times, but it is so important for you all to be at school when you can, so you can learn something new, get your homework done, stay on track, see your friends, see your teacher. All of your friends and teachers really want you at school when you can, so it's really important to be at school. So today our topic is gratitude, and before I get into our book and what our activity is, I just want to go over what gratitude is. And gratitude is basically just being thankful for the people, experiences, things, and opportunities that we all have in our lives. And a big part of gratitude is expressing when you're thankful for something. And you can be thankful for your family, for your friends, maybe someone gave you some really good advice or a present. These are all things that we can be thankful for. But it does take a little bit of practice to show gratitude and show that you're thankful. So maybe we can show that in our book today a little bit. And before we get into our book, I just want to have you guys all take a second to share ways that you think that you can show that you're thankful for something. So if your teacher could just pause the video at this moment and call on a few people to share, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Okay, well, thank you so much to those of you who shared. I'm sure those were great ideas. I wish that I could have been there to hear them myself. But I'll just share one of my ways that I show that I'm thankful, and one of my ways is writing a thank you card. This is just like something that's really small that really can mean a lot to somebody. So we are gonna start diving into our book, and I'm really excited to hear about all your thoughts and your ideas after our story. So our book today is Those Shoes by Mary Beth Boltz. Let me see if I can get you guys to see it. I have dreams about those shoes. Black high tops, two white stripes. Grandma, I want them. There's no room for want around here, just need, Grandma says. And what you need are new boots for winter. Braden T comes to school in those shoes. He says he's the fastest runner now, not me. I was always the fastest before those shoes came along. Nate comes to school in those shoes. Antonia and I count how many times Nate goes to the bathroom. 7 times in one day, just so he can walk up and down the hall real slow. Next, Alan, Jacoby, and Terrence each get a pair. Then one day, in the middle of kickball, one of my shoes comes apart. Looks like you could use a new pair, Jeremy, Mr. Alfie, the guidance counselor, says. He brings out a box of shoes and other stuff he has for kids who need things. He helps me find the only shoes that are my size, Velcro, like the ones my little cousin Marshall wears. They have an animal on them from a cartoon I don't think any kid has ever watched. When I come back to the classroom, Alan Jacoby takes one look at my Mr. Alfrey shoes and laughs, and so do Terrence, Brandon T, and everyone else. The only kid not laughing is Antonio Parker. At home, Grandma says, "How kind of Mr. Alfie." I nod and turn my back. I'm not going to cry about any dumb shoes. But when I'm writing my spelling words later, every word looks like the word shoes, and my grip is so tight on my pencil I think it might bust. On Saturday, Grandma says, "Let's check out those shoes you're wanting so much. I got a little bit of money set aside. Might be enough. You never know." At the shoe store, Grandma turns those shoes over so she can check the price. When she sees it, she sits down heavy. "Maybe they wrote it down wrong," I say. Grandma shakes her head. Then I remember the thrift shops. Wait, what if there's a rich kid who outgrew his or got two pairs for Christmas and had to give one of them away? We ride the bus to the first thrift shop. Black cowboy boots, pink slippers, sandals, high heels, every kind of shoes except the ones I want. We ride the bus to the second thrift shop, not a pair of those shoes in sight. Around the corner is the third thrift shop. I see something in the window. Black shoes with two white stripes, high tops, perfect shape. $2.50. Those shoes. My heart is pounding hard as I take off my shoes and hitch up my baggy socks. "How exciting!" Grandma says. "What size are they?" I shove my foot into the first shoe, curling my toes to get my heel in. "I don't know, but I think they fit." Grandma kneels on the floor and feels for my toes at the end of the shoe. "Oh, Jeremy," she says, "I can't spend good money on shoes that don't fit." I pull the other shoe on and try to walk around. "They're okay," I say, holding my breath and praying that my toes will fall off right then and there. But my toes don't fall off. I buy them anyway with my own money, and I squeeze them on and limp to the bus stop. At home a few days later, Grandma puts a new pair of snow boots in my closet and doesn't say a word about my two big feet shuffling around in my two small shoes. "Sometimes shoes stretch," I say. Grandma gives me a hug. I check every day, but those shoes don't stretch. I have to wear my Mr. Alfrey's to school instead. One day during math, I glance at Antonio's shoes. One of them is taped up and his feet look smaller than mine. After school, I head to the park to think. Antonio is there, the only kid who didn't laugh at my Mr. Alfrey shoes. We shoot baskets. A loose piece of tape on Antonio's shoe smacks the concrete every time he jumps. I think, I'm not going to do it. We leap off the swings. I'm not going to do it. We race from one end of the playground to the other. I'm not going to do it, I say. "Do what?" Antonio says, breathing hard. Grandma calls me for supper and invites Antonio over too. After supper, he spies my shoes. "How come you don't wear them?" Antonio asks. I shrug. My hands are sweaty. I can feel him wishing those were his. That night, I am awake for a long time thinking about Antonio. When morning comes, I try on my shoes one last time. Before I can change my mind, the shoes are in my coat. Snow is beginning to fall as I run across the street to Antonio's apartment. I put the shoes in front of his door, push the doorbell, and run. At school, Antonio is smiling, big in his brand new shoes. I feel happy when I look at his face and mad when I look at my Mr. Alfrey shoes. But later, when it's time for recess, something happens. Everywhere there is snow. Leave your shoes in the hall and change into your boots, the teacher announces. Leave your shoes in the hall. It's then I remember what I have in my backpack. New boots. New black boots that no kid has ever worn before. Standing in line to go to recess, Antonio leans forward and says, "Thanks." I smile and give him a nudge. Let's race. Okay. Well, I hope that you all liked that book. I think that's a great book, and I think it shows gratitude really, really well. So, after we've read this book, I just want a few of you to answer this question I have for you, and it is, where was there gratitude in the story, and how do you know? So, if your teacher could just pause the screen at this moment again and call on some students to answer the question that was, where was gratitude in the story, and how do you know? That would be awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, well, thank you so much to those of you who shared. I'm sure all your answers were awesome. And now that we've answered that question, I have our activity for us all today. And I think that you're all really going to like it. So, if everybody could please get out a piece of paper, a writing utensil, and maybe some crayons or markers, colored pencils, whatever you have that you could draw with. And on the paper that you get out, we are going to either write a letter to someone, probably explaining like what you're grateful for, why you're grateful for them, maybe thanking them for something that they've done for you, something like that. Or you can draw a picture for somebody, because this also shows that you're grateful for them. And then the next time that you see this person, make sure that you give them this letter or the picture that you drew, and just let them know that you're thankful for them, that you're grateful for everything that they do for you, because this will show your gratitude for them. And take a lot of time on these, put a lot of work into them, a lot of effort, because it is showing someone that you are thankful for them, so you should put a lot of work into these. Okay, second graders, I'm sure that your pictures and letters will be awesome. I'm 100% sure that the people that you give them to will be very grateful for you as well. Thank you so much for being at school and for listening to our book. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Have a great rest of your day.